Greetings, Masandawana. Greetings, football lovers. I am back with another installment of the Yellow Corner, and as you can see, I'm flying solo once again. Yeah, it's never easy, or it's very unusual for me to be doing this one man, but hopefully it goes well like the first one, man. We'll be bringing you the preview of our game week 17 fixture as we host Chippa United on Saturday night at 8 o'clock at Lucas Moripe Stadium. I said game week 17, as you may know, our game against TS Galaxy was meant to be our game week 17, and unfortunately it had to be postponed due to understandable circumstances, man. I'll start this preview, man, on a very sad note, man. Firstly, let me pass my condolences to the Mkonza family, man, on the loss of their son, man, Skizo Mkonza, man. May his soul rest in peace, man. Deepest condolences to the family, friends, and loved ones, man. One of the nicest guys I ever had the opportunity to come across, man. Really a nice guy, Skizo, man. And yeah, man, he was doing very well on SABC, working for, I think, SABC Sport on Soccer Zone, man, and had a gig, Leo Mometo, on Fridays with Andy, man. So yeah, man, a sad note, man. May his amazing soul rest in peace, man. Still on that note, the condolences. Let me pass our deepest condolences to the family of the lady who lost her life after being involved in a car accident with the TS Galaxy team bus when they were making their way to Mbombela for our game with them on Wednesday. The accident happened on Tuesday, man. Deepest condolences to the family and loved ones of the lady, man. Yeah, not the way that one would love to start the preview, man. But yeah, such is life, eh? The other thing that I would like to talk about before I get into the preview of this game, get a curious case here, Neo Mayema, man. You know, I've been thinking about Neo in the last few weeks. I've been thinking about the fact that he was so brilliant last season, one of our best players last season. Yet this season he hardly ever makes the matchday squad, you know. He's completely out of the team, you know. And I wondered, you know, that red card that he got away in Casa in the first leg of the semi-final, did it play in his head? Did it get to a point where after he got knocked out, where he felt like he could, if he was there, he could have helped the team progress to the final? Does he blame himself for that, you know? So I don't understand, man, what has happened with Neo, you know? But at the same time, I do not think that's the case, because Neo comes across as a very spiritually strong person, you know. Every time he speaks, God is always ahead, you know. He always mentions God. So is it just one of those seasons where you say, it's one of those, man, a player loss of form, you know, so he will bounce back next season, which I hope it's the case, because one thing's for sure, Neo is a brilliant player. You cannot take that away from him, you know. So yeah, man, hopefully he even bounces back before the end of the season and helps us in the latter stages of the season. Who knows, he might be the one who wins us the Champions League, man. Moving on to TS Galaxy. I was surprised by the employment Thabo September and Kwanele Kopo, more so with Thabo, in the sense where him leaving the job security that came with the DDC job, head coach job at Supersport, to go to a club, a coach who's very trigger happy, you know. I don't know how I feel about this, you know, but at the same time, one can say he wanted to leave that comfort zone. He wanted to challenge himself, you know, and see how far he can go, you know. He wanted that growth that comes with being a coach and in a difficult circumstances or situations, you know. So yeah, man, I'm really keen to see how this goes, but at the same time, he is someone who's very experienced, even though it might be experienced at the development phase in Kwanele Kopo, but a good coach who has an eye for young talent. So I'm really keen to see what will transpire at Chippa in the next 6 months of the season, man. Looking at their form, they are currently 10th on the log. They've played 19 games, they won 5 of those. They drew 8, lost 6, goal difference Yabonaki -3. They currently on 23 points, and five of those points came in the last 3 games, they've played, or the first 3 games of the year, and they've been really looking good, they especially in attack, and I thought to myself, is this a sign of coaching taking place at Chippa, or it's one of those key new manager bounce, eventually it will fade away after 5 or so games, I think it's a bit of both. I think players, new ideas, fresh ideas, excitement of having a new coaches, being shown or being taught new things, so I think that's one which boils down to coaching, and then that new manager bounce, a new voice in the dressing room, so I think it's a bit of both, yeah. But like I said, I've been really impressed with Chippa so far. Let's move on to what this thing of doing this alone, man. I'm always thinking I need to ask a question, because I'm so used to asking questions, interacting with, having a dialogue, with someone, so yeah. Let's move on to what we can expect from both teams. I will start with Chippa United. I do not expect Chippa to be conservative in this match. I think a lot of PSL teams, when they face Sundowns, it's one of those games where they write it off as, when the fixture comes out, they do not bank on 3 points against Sundowns, If it happens, it's a bonus. So I think they won't be conservative. I think they will play the way they've been playing, and the fact that they are not in a relegation battle at this point, it gives them room not to be conservative. And I'm thinking they'll probably think, oh, let's give it a go. You never know. We might find Sundowns on an off day, So what's the use of sitting back and then Sundowns scores a goal, and now you have to start moving forward and attacking Sundowns, And like I said, they've been playing really well. There's great movement, more so in attack. I've been really impressed with how they do things in the final third, And I think they play well, or more as a team. It comes out beautiful when Van Guy is not playing. When they have, I just forgot the guy's name, the Namibian guy who's light in complexion, who has Luchuli playing behind him, and then there's Martins and Mahlati on the sides, and Mosele, and I just forgot this guy, Majogoro, in the middle field. There's great movement there, there's passing, there's fluidity when they play with those guys. And another thing that I've noticed, they've had a stable lineup since the 2 guys, Thabo and Kwanele, took over. They've had a stable lineup, barring 2 games and positions where there was Kazapua who kept goals because their Nwabili was still go AFCON. No, he just came back from AFCON, so he missed their first game. And then, as well as in the final third, where they had Luchuli playing, they changed 10. They had Luchuli playing as a 10, and the Namibian guy in front of him. And then in the other game, they had that Namibian guy behind Evanka. So I think that helps them. There's more fluidity, And how they attack on the right is different to how they attack on the left. On the left, they have Modise, who is a Sundowns loanee. I'm not sure if he'll play in this game. And then Mahlati. So when in attack, Mahlati comes inside into the half space and then leaves all that room for Modise on the white space. And it's because Modise delivers such beautiful balls, man. He can flip and cross the ball, Bailey, And then on the right, they use Pacia Martins. They just look to get the ball behind the left back of the opponents, and he runs behind and uses that space, as well as the boy that came on for him again in the game, the Mamelodi United, Francis. He has pace for day to Burnley, and he scored, So it's different how they attack from those sides, And I think if Modise plays, we need to keep an eye on the boy, man. He delivered a man of the match performance against Stellies, and then in their last game against Richards Bay, he had an assist for their first goal that was scored by Chabalala, and then he had a secondary assist for, I think, their second goal, a goal that was scored by Martins, So and he delivered a beautiful cross for Evangai, and he ballooned it. So we can't afford to give Modise space and let him give him time on the ball. Look at these set pieces. He'll be very, very dangerous, Looking at Sundowns, man, I think it's important. Build up to Sundowns it sets the tone to everything. Our build up phase is really, really important, So I think we need to overload middle field there, and force them to have Lutuli, if he plays as a 10, to drop into middle field to help Majarogo. I hope I'm pronouncing this guy's name correctly, and Musele, so that when we build in the first phase of our build up, we build smoothly, and once Sundowns builds and comes out of that first phase, the building phase, they can pick and find spaces anywhere and everywhere, So I think we need to do that. Another thing is we need to pin Modise back. Do not allow him room or give him chance to bomb forward, and you find that he ends up in dangerous zones where he can whip in crosses, because if we do, that boy will punish us, man. He can flip and cross the ball, And I spoke about the Pacia, Francis or Martins on the right. Our rest defense needs to be proper, because once Martin gets behind you, you are done, And I was impressed with how that Francis boy finished after getting behind the defense. So rest defense needs to be on point. Their weakness, I think, it's central defense, center backs. I do not think Shabalala is a good. He used to be damn good at Free State Stars, man, but he's regressed big time, man. He's poor, man. He's clumsy. He rushes into things, So I think if we play at the 2-9 in Shalulile and Ribeiro, I don't think he can cope with them. And his partner, I think he's new to the PSL. I just forgot his surname. They've played the last 3 games. That Chippa Bali 2. So I think if we have 2 strikers up top, I don't think they will be able to handle Shalulile Ribeiro, man. Moving on to lineups, we didn't play midweek, so yeah, I'm gonna go strong, man. I wanted to give Majidam a chance, but I'm gonna go strong for this one. I'll definitely have Williams, Gekana, Zungu, Libusa, Lunga, Mokwena, Alende, Mabue, Zwane, Ribeiro, and Shalulile. And my score prediction will be 3-0 victory for us. I think we're capable of keeping a clean sheet in this one and getting a lot of goals, with the front line that we have, man. I was hoping to do this preview with Rapsne, but unfortunately, man, he has load shedding, and where he is, it's absolutely bucketing, so network is an issue. So yeah, we actually had started recording and we had to stop because we couldn't go on, So I wanted to discuss this with him. I picked up something in our game, TP Mazembe, over the weekend. I picked up we now have our center backs taking throw-ins in our own half. Like if we have a throw-in in our half, it will be taken by the center back. If it's on the right, it will be taken by the right center back. If it's on the left, it will be taken by the left center back, which because it was the first time I born, and I haven't had a chance to watch the game again to try and study the reason behind it, or how does it help us, So, yeah, man, I don't know if you guys noticed it, so maybe we can check it out if we do it. Game cheap, because normally if we have a throw in, it's normally taken, if it's in our half or the opponent's half, it's normally taken by the left back. If it's on the left, on the right, it's by the right back. So yeah, man, I found that to be what's the word? I found it quite interesting, So yeah, I don't know the thinking behind it, but there's definitely something into it. So let's see if the club and the team does it again in our game against Chippa, man. And yeah, that's that Masandawana. I hope you enjoyed this preview, man. I was a nervous wreck because I'm not used to doing this alone. Next time you will see us will be on Sunday when we preview our league match, game week 18 matches. We host our Tshwane rivals, Chippa United, in the Dstv Premier League. Until then, sharp Masandawana.